Great and beautiful morning and evening to you all. Anywhere you are joining me at this hour, welcome to 539 edition of Invest Data Trading Academy Live with Ambrose. Yes, market across the globe as usual are open also in a misdirection. For NGX down here after that has also opened in the green, extending the gain it had on the last trading day of the week. That was the last trade of a previous week on Friday, which is a good news. But we're seeing that the market breadth is also positive. Yes, once we come to Nigeria market, we'll talk more on that. But let's quickly look at what is happening at the global scene. Now, we can see that the mature markets across the globe are also doing know, good, while some are down, some are also marginally up again as we speak right away now. But as usual, we look at what is happening in Asia market. That is the market we're starting with this morning as usual. You can see that the market in Asia or stocks in Asia are open in the green as we speak, tracking the gain that Wall Street Bank recorded the previous week, which is also a good one. As a result of news of what the likely cut of interest rate signal that was given the at the conference that was held last week Friday, where the chairman of Fed mentioned that there room had been made to work for rate cut come September meeting. These are the things that also is driving sentiment in that market right now. But I'll tell you that the Chinese market and Hong Kong stocks or Chinese stock or Hong Kong are also are the in a green better as let's say better performance right now in that region as a result of what they benefit from the local technology and also artificial intelligence stocks that are also moving up as we speak. So good news for that regard. And as I said earlier, other markets in that region are also looking up right away. They are all stretching a lot to see the expected impact of likely 25% basic point that will come from September rate cut following the chairman Fed chairman statement. This has also changed sentiment in the market and that region, despite the cooling labor report and all those missed report that market have monitored from that region, especially from China. Despite that, markets are still looking up in that region right away. This tells you that that is why, as a trader investor, you must understand what is happening in other regions to guide you, and also where you are playing. Also, is very very important to understand the market there. But the indices in China right now are all in green as we speak. I will tell you that the Shanghai Composite Index and also Shanghai C, CSI 300 are all in green, 1.3 up and 1% up respectively. And for me, it's a good one. Even as also Hong Kong share index that's highly about 2.2 as we speak right now. You can see the power of news or expectation in any market just because of the statement from the Fed chairman. You can see how it's changing the sentiment around the world. Even also, we're seeing that August is the last week of trade, last trading week of August, and August has always been a mixed market, but and also the month of September. But we're looking at when we start seeing Q3, as most of the sentiment we're seeing now also being driven by also the earnings that also hit the market before now, even as some are still taking in this market, and most of these earnings are also good, and that is why we are seeing market are digesting this earning in this market. Just also we are doing it in NGX yet and or to control this market. For me, this is a good news for the market, and that also is helping to see that yes, even when we're expecting a rate cut in September, what of November, the last one for this year would also Fed cut. We want to see. Don't forget that the last quarter of the year is most active quarter across the globe, and we're seeing that also chip makers, those stocks are rallying, in China and other markets as we speak. Even I think that the Nvidia also in US, we're seeing how also receiving approval to resume sale, of its wider, popular HD, chips in China. All these are good news for that, tech industry. But I believe that the Chinese chip stocks are also, and I mean not cheap, no, but chips that is a CHIP. Also, stocks are also looking up also in that regard. Since last week, can see that artificial intelligence is also another thing that also deep in Australia Asia market as we speak. Then also with all eyes on expected rate cut from Fed that comes in September. This lower interest rate will also make a dollar cheaper, and also that also impact also the commodity market when you see dollar coming down, because that will also help people to have access to commodity goods. Likely to see impact of when they say like to see oil going up because when there's cheaper dollar, there'll be higher demand. And look at what is happening in Japan. Japan is also in the green right away. Japan and even South Korea are also in the green right now. Japan is up by 0.7, while South Korea is up by 1% right now. Singapore is not left behind as we speak, but only that is marginally positive or green, I would say. And the only stock that is only sector, only country or in that region or that market that is lacking is Australia. AS AXX 200 is lagging down. Also, I can see that one is also marginally flat or down as we speak right away. That is the state of the market in Asia right now at this moment. India is not left behind. I think that Indian stocks are still flat because of this tariff Trump tariff deadline loom. We want to see what is happening in that. Let's see how it's going to also move. Despite that the peers in that market are still up. I think that the Nifty 50 is also adding just 0.3%, 0.3% compared to others that are having a one above 1%, which is also good. But all focus squarely on what on the 27, 28 deadline where Trump 50% tariff against India will take effect. But India market, as we speak now, still rally past the they passed the Trump trend after the government outlined a host of tax reform and means all this to support the local economy. Yes, consider that India is always looking inward, not reaching, not panicking for Trump, 50% tariff. But yes, we know that it has a way of affecting them. But I think looking inward and see how you can drive your system, your economy is very, very good for what India is doing. But can also that look at the European stocks as space, they are all looking down, or only few are looking up as investors weigh the impact of a rate cut prospect from what from the the meeting that was the conference that was held on Friday. To speak now, most of the market in Europe are down this morning as investors assess the economic outlook following signal from this Fed chairman that rate cut come be coming very, very soon. It's going to affect the region, and that's why you can see there's a lot of analysis going down as we speak now. The European most of the European indices are down. We talk of STS 600 is down by 0.3, followed by also Germany index will fall by 0.5, and that of France, which is CAC 40, also declined by 0.5. But we can see that it's only today that the UK market remains closed for what for holiday, and that is why that market is not reading anything right now because they are on public holiday as we speak, which is also a good one for them because that would have also put their market down. And as others in that region are also looking southward, that will also plunge that one in that direction. But because the holiday, consider that the only market that we were not seeing a red as we speak right away. But believe that the outcome of the conference is what many markets are analyzing how it's going to affect if there's rate cut, it's going to be currency rotation and also even sector rotation. All these are what we are seeing: specular flow of funds, corporate earnings, and corporate news coming in to define where the European market is going. But this is just the beginning of the week. We expect to see more economic data released, and that also inform where France and Germany, Italy, and other European countries will also be publishing. That will give you more information on just the first trading day of the week. Let's see. Despite the last week for the month of August, first trading day for this week, we look forward to see more economic data coming up. So this also guide investors to make decisions as far as are still on an upcoming earnings report closely, to see how they part, especially as most of these numbers will be due on Wednesday and at midweek. This also will help all to manage risk as investors. Look at all this. They are making what decision on how to where to put their money. Finally, on the big market, let's quickly look at what is happening in US. I'll tell you that US stocks also, as to speak now, are deep also after Wall Street have kind of rallied the previous week. But this hour was seeing that the market in US or US indices are looking on marginally southward right now, as expectation for rate cut, are going up, swell up right, and also, like I said, Nigeria earnings is due today, due this week on Wednesday. Let's see how these numbers are going. That tech company will also impact the market. Yes, market, they're all analyzing the expectation and impact will be. That's why we're seeing that, like I said earlier, US market is also looking southward right now. Even this marginal, which has opened in the red. Focus this week is squarely on earnings that also come from the intelligence, artificial intelligence, major company in that sector, also in that tech company to release. Don't forget that this company have been the have recorded the highest and most valuable stock on the US market today. All eyes are still on the stock releasing the results come midweek on Wednesday, and that will see us going to also give more clue of the fast growing industry, the tech company, in the sectors, how they're going to perform going to the future. With these numbers, we'll see how going to surpass what is happening there. Wall Street rallied on Friday, like what I said at the beginning, but we've seen the reversing, coming out this morning as the market are opening, despite the news that I pushed it up last week, news of expected rate cut, market and investors are still, analyzing this, betting on, what will be, is it 25 basic points or more than that, or either that should be 25 basic points should be the start. Let's wait and see. If you look at the S&P 500 as speak now, it's down by 0.24, and the NASDAQ is also, down by 0.32. As also see that market is trying to digest all this, and this is why investors are watching, tending to see what will be the outcome at the end of the day. And that's why I believe that the signal of potential rate cut is part of what Wall Street rally last week. We see how it's going to also impact the market as the investors really digest this outcome of Johnson hold the symposium last Friday, how the central bank there will cut rates in September and increasing risk in the labor market. These are clues that many people are analyzing. Policymakers and Fed, all of them are looking at it. The uncertainties that come with the rate cut, is it going to impact inflation? These are, don't forget that before now, we know that yes, the president of that nation has also been planning for eyeing the rate cut should come, trying to bully the Fed chairman, but see that the man has been so calm and trying to do, how looking at the data, I will say that central bank don't just take position, but are considering data, especially as inflation, even though it was marginally slowed down for the month, the percent that was released, that is a clue why we are seeing this proposed rate cut. But let's wait and see. And also, as also expect to see the second quarter GDP is also on top, this week also to see after that what next. I believe that this are going to guide and show how strong the economy of US are or is when we put it. Let's see how it goes into this discussion. Let's look on African market. African market is mixed, and most of the major African market we are seeing that because of improving fundamental in terms of economy, we are seeing that most of the market are also opening the week on the green, even that is the last trading week of the month of August. We are seeing that most of the market are opening in the green. And coming back to see NGX is, as we speak now, right in the green, reflecting buying sentiment in the market. As we speak now, the index is also reading still above what it opened, what it closed last week. The market index is reading now almost right now as we speak 41,182.38. That is what the index is. Index is up by almost 0.08% right now, almost 0.10, 0.8%. Let's approximate to that figure. That is what the index is gaining at this point. But if we look at market breadth, I think market breadth is positive, and it shows that yes, investors are really taking position in the market right now, especially as the news to flow in the market, and also seeing that the market is expecting this is the last third quarter of the year. By September, the market is entering from the September at the end of this month. Investors also looking at their portfolio left and right and what to do. That's why today our topic is what economic outlook and sector rotation on the NGX ahead of what policy meeting. We are seeing data coming, we are seeing decision, sentiment in the mature economy. What we are seeing also locally, where are we going from there? That's what we're going to discuss when we enter the topic for today. But after seeing how the market is going, as we speak now, we're seeing that the market rate is positive. We're having almost we're seeing having almost 34 gainers right now against 13 losers. For me, it's a good one for the market right now. I will see more buyers in the market, 33 gainers against just 15 losers in the market right now. Who don't know as we speak? No, 13 losers. I see that that is what 13 losers in the market. But I believe that investors are really taking their time to shop to value and grow stock. That's why we are seeing this market rebounding at this moment, which is also a good news as we speak. But right now, we're going to go to what the topic for today. If you look at the topic today, I will tell you that looking at the macroeconomic data so far released, into the comment of also made available to the market for the public, I see that positive macroeconomic data is coming in. How does this also influence investor decision, and also how does it also impact next coming policy meeting of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and what should the investor be doing right away to their portfolio is very important that we understand what we should be doing right now at this point, because I believe that it is time for you as a trader or investor to take action in the market, because every investment is against the future. As far as you can separate the market from the economy or separate the economy from the market, let us say the policy direction of the government is very important to guide your decision as you speak. Yes, we have seen the first quarter GDP for this nation. Then all eyes are still on Q2 GDP, and this is when we're going to look at the economic outlook. Then you also look at the stability in FS from January to date. Let's look at that, and also the recent that the reserve, the nation reserve also have gone high as almost $41 billion, and this is the highest since 2021. That is also a news for us to look at. And also, if you look at the potential manager index for the month of for the month of June, July, we see about 52.2. These are told that private sector business is expanding, and which are also good news. Now that we have seen Q1, Q2 after the rebase of GDP, we have seen also the expansion of the economy where new economies also added to the GDP. We see the rebase, and also the new sectors where we see the incoming of or the result of Dangote refinery or expanding the oil sector, and also about the blue economy. Already we are also expanded exporting gas. How all this also can make our economy because, and also we are seeing that the manufacturing sector, which is the industrialized sector, what we call it, or the production and of the economy is becoming stronger with relatively stability in FS. That also have impacted their number. Now that we have seen all these numbers pointing positive, and we are yet to see the Q2 number. And also, they did the last week for the month of August. What you can do easily is that we have seen the earnings that came from different sectors of the market, and that also represented the larger economy. If that is so, it does mean that these figures that we are seeing have given an insight that we are likely to see another positive Q2 number. And for me, it's a good news. We have seen 3.13 GDP growth in Q1, and the possibility of we're going to get almost 3.2 to 3.5. So it's very positive after seeing 1.3. For me, it's a good one for us to say that since we have seen those sectors that have performed standardly, then you know where you should be putting your egg now, where you should be putting your tent now as an investor or trader. Even when we are seeing a little uptick, in Treasury in the last week, open market operation that was what we call the Treasury, that is the primary market option. Sorry, no, not open market option. Primary market option. We have seen that the 2 tenors, literally 91 days, and that is what tick up fine. We have seen that, but right now that we are all eyes on the GDP for Q2, and also ahead of a policy meeting come in September, and that also we have seen a decline of inflation. Also, what all eyes will now be on the on the August inflation that will be available before the next MPC meeting, in September. The MPC meeting at this sign that they're going to cut rates. Yes, you must say that the body language of the policy committee are like they are also eager to cut rates so that they can drive the economy. But all these variables, economic dynamics, in terms of exchange rate, in terms of also US cotton rate in September, how it's going to influence their own decision here in Nigeria. These are key things we want to look at. But in all, I would say that the market is still very cheap, because if you look at our P ratio, they are all below what most of the market P ratio is below 12 and or below 15. And when you see anywhere in the world, when you see that the P ratio of the market are above 25, you can see that market is overbought. But seeing that the stocks are listed are still cheap. Even when now we're seeing profit taking that have made the market to pull back, but we're seeing a little rebound, which will sustain, or if it will sustain what we saw on Friday. But I believe that the volume, all eyes are on the volume and also the buying pattern in the market. And that's why sector rotation also is part of our topic today. That it is time for you to look at which sector like you should be putting your money now. Yes, I discussed the sector about the two sectors last Friday, talking about the insurance and the banking sector. We saw the rebound in those sectors in this, and today we are seeing what is happening also in the bank in the oil and gas sector. That sector are a bit cool. No, we are not seeing movement activity there. Is it right time for you to put your money there? And for me, if you are going to do sector rotation, is they going to pay entry dividend from that sector? For now, no, until start seeing their third quarter. And the third quarter, which one will pay entry dividend apart from Total and the step that will do that? Oh, unless also another will do that. That's for October. That will come October. But for no, don't forget that this Total will always settle and Seplat always give their shareholders dividend for the Christmas, which I believe that is comforted over around November. They will be declaring paying them all. This is also in that December also. For me, you need to know where are you going at this point now? Is it the service sector you want to go? Is it or the natural gas you want to natural resources you want to go? Is it the investment sector? You need to look at yourself and say, is it healthcare? That's why at this time look at where the policy is written. We've seen some news coming to the market, and that's why I'm not surprised that market also really, on this news. Look at your chart to see how the market is responding to this news. It's very, very important. We've seen move for the government to make sure that the healthcare sector will remain active and also to provide cheaper, healthcare service for Nigerians. You see, before now they have made policy and also kind of encouraging as you are importing raw material for your manufacturing jobs. There's some extra duty that was waived, and also government is making move to make sure that those sectors have access to one digit, one digit, fund or interest fund. For me, it's a good one. You can see how the economic outlook and the sector rotation can also help you know where to put your money at the right time right now because sector matters. And I tell you that most mature economy, the healthcare sector is the most defensive sector that people play because that's why the economy is experiencing expansion or contraction. People know that because of the nature of their service and the product they provide, they always now that we're seeing expansion, we're seeing the leaders in that sector, especially fixing moving from as low as 69 to almost 47 for pulling back. We can see that Fisher also expanded its business. Also, we can see that they have a state of the art production factory in Sango. Now also they are opening another one around the free trade zone in Lakeside. That is also that is a good one. And not only that, we are seeing partnership also going on and also seeing that raw materials are becoming for them as enjoying slight duty free or reduce side duty. That is a plus for them. And numbers that are coming there are not bad again. That's an improvement to see that these numbers are coming at the right time. And as an investor, you must pay attention to those numbers because it has a way of guiding you on what to do as a trader or investor. You must pay attention to this number anytime, any day, because it is what is happening in the industry will reflect on the number. That's why government policy and decision is very whether monetary or physical. Anyone you see it has the work even from the economic managers, they all have the work for influencing the decision. You must pay attention to all this so that you're able to stay ahead of the market any day, anytime. And that's why I encourage people to always look at this market with expectation, and that will help you to make what informed investment decision at any given time. Because that's the only way you should go as a trader or investor when you are trading. Because you can only take action when you know what to do, and that will help you to make that decision as a trader or investor. Pay attention to all this at any given time. Right now, because of our time, I want to look at those top gainers and also losers in the market and what is driving them. You can see that looking at the chart now, that the market is extending what happened on the Friday. You can see it now that already enter. You can see that market is already doing 141,246. At that time, it was doing 182. You can see it's still extending. For me, it's a good one. But we want to look at the volume. These are the things we want to pay attention. But let's quickly look at the call other indicators to use in the taking decision this morning. Before we look at the five gainers, maybe that 2 or 3, look at their charts and what is moving them. Let's look at take our T line, take our money flow, and also we don't play with our MACD. This is what the market is doing now. You can see the chart, live chart, and see our T line is 8 days open average exponential. You can see the market is still below the T line good news that it's still going up. Once it cross this line here, this blue line, as you are seeing, that the market is also entering another strong momentum has come back. But with a good one, but money flow is still looking now is below 40, around 39. Then the market close will know. But if you look at here, you can see that the histogram is trying to resist. You can see that at this one is coming shorter compared to this one. If that trend also seen an uptrend, that's a sign that momentum is changing gradually. If it's sustained before Wednesday, we are likely to see an uptrend. And once this index action cross the T line, that is another move for the market. Yes, and this for a daily chart. But let's look at 1 hour chart for the index. On index one, I can see that it's almost crossing on 1 hour chart. Good news, I can see the movement of fund on a 1 hour chart. It's almost crossing 50, across 50 already, and market are giving sign. These are good signs in the market. That's why after looking at the big chart, look at the 1 hour. You can go as low as looking at what 30 minutes chart. That will give you more information on what to do, because you need to sense the market. On a 30 minutes chart, you can see that the market has crossed the still line already, above the still line. You can see, and you can see a stronger green candlestick here. That is a good news for me. And money flow is doing almost 62, fine, and market have confirmed a strong market on 30 minutes chart. That is good thing that you do when we are looking at what live chart. Yes, like I said, if you look at the top gainers right now, we're seeing that that the the chart we are seeing the life of Julius Berger topping, and I'm not surprised. I think one of the class I had this morning, I told them we expect that stocks will move up because of what the news that came over the weekend that the government have approved, federal government have approved about 750 billion naira contract to develop the army cemetery, something century, in Abuja century. I believe that also you can see this morning is almost with 10% up, trading around almost 146.1 to 1.10. Then Kobo as we speak now, leading the market. And also, like I also discussed in that class about construction sector, we're seeing that also. We're seeing also the movement in the life of CM Nico, FC Nico also is looking up as we speak now. Ella Lake, we're seeing Ella Lake also in that chart. We're seeing also insurance company, the life of Distico is up, which is good also at this point for me. It's a good news for the market that we're seeing this rally right now. You can see that more insurance companies are also at the beginner start. You can see the life of Betas Capital, Universal Insurance. You can see, Royal Exchange. All these are insurance companies. Even International Energy, Lasaco, ICO, and the Conhol Insurance. All these are also up as we speak. And let's look at the chart of Julius Berger to see how far it will go, and that of Veritas. Let's see the momentum behind the stocks. That also help you to make what informed investment decision on what to do right away. Once you get it right, you are good to go. JB Julius Berger. Let's look at the momentum behind that stock before we call it a day. Let's look at JB. Let's see how far that stock is doing this morning. Julius Berger. Let's see. JB Julius Berger. Yeah, we're going back to a day chart to start with. If you look at the day chart, you can see the stock now is coming up here. It has pulled out today this morning. You can see that this stock have already given almost 20%. At the beginning of this market, came down as low as 30, almost 32 or below that. You can see it here before rebounding today. That means if you bought at this rate, you always made that 20% today alone on the stock. On this same news, though, this for day chart, we'll quickly look at the 1 hour chart for the stock. It's good to pay attention. 1 hour chart, you can see that the rebound. I will also see that yes, there are some profit taken, but the stock remain above 140 right now. You can see the activities of people trying to take profit in that stock with the movement. For me, it's a good one. You can see on the 1 hour chart, it has moved also bullish MACD and also money flow in almost 93, and this is for Julius Berger. Look at the Veritas Capital. Look at the Veritas Capital, it's an insurance company. You can see that there's a lot of momentum in that company. On the 1 hour chart, you can see that the stock is also above the T line. You can pay attention to that T line. Good one. This is a stock that traded below the T line now before crossing again. When the two profit, you can see that it came down. But now, when you can look at also on the 1 hour chart, you can see that it pulled back this morning. It's up again to trade around 2 naira 17 kobo. as we speak. Money flow try to turn up, reading around almost 59, 60, and MACD, you can see the difference between this histogram, this and this longer one. Once we're seeing up, once able to cross and we have a bullish MACD, once we cross the signal line, once let's keep our finger crossed. And we're seeing a good volume compared to other days. Now, once we're able to cross the traded average for the stock, that will also be a good one. But for me, it's a good thing for the market looking at the stocks we just mentioned. On the losers chart, yes, let's quickly look at one. But our time is fast spent. But quickly, we'll quickly look at one of the losers table. That let's see what is happening there. I'll say that yes, we're seeing that profit taking in Universal, in a Universal Press, as we speak with the UPL, UPL, Universal Press. We're seeing profit taking on the stock right now. You can see it here. This is a day chart. That profit taking has shown even when it's trying to resist this can come here, coming down, it's still leading the usual chart right now. But for me, also if you look at MACD, you can always coming down. See that can see that it's coming bearish, it has crossed the signal line down. But let's keep after that. And money flow is also looking down forward for University Press as we speak. On this note, I will say thank you. See you on Wednesday, hopefully by God. Bye. Enjoy the rest of your trading day.